Welcome guys, it feels so good to be back and welcome to Try to Drive. I know I've been away for about 6 months now, not for no reason. In November I had the birth of my second beautiful baby boy. So I was really busy for a few months there, and then I got completely bogged down with work. As you guys know, I have a functioning workshop, and because the workshop, all my personal projects sort of took a back seat. Also, YouTube being my passion, I had to really put that on the side and focus on my workshop. And also it was extremely cold, and out here we're sort of exposed to the elements, so the focus had completely shifted and we were really busy. I was very busy with 2 kids and then handling the shop. As you know, I do all of this by myself, so it was tough, and I really apologize. All of you guys have been very kind and have been reaching out to me on all the social media outlets that I need to get back to this, and I am absolutely delighted to be back again and filming. And I promise you though that there will be no delay of content from my end. We have tons and tons of things we've been working on for the past 6-7 months. A lot of projects, a lot of new cars we've bought, and very exciting stuff. So I would ask you guys to join me again for this amazing roller coaster ride, which is my life, full of automotive content, cars, and a lot of crazy projects. So let me show you where we left off with the 6-cylinder OM606 Mercedes we were building. We've done a bit of progress on that, and I will show you what work is left on it. So before we go to the other side and I show you one of my many Mercedes projects we're doing, let me first show you what cars we have on the lift. The first one being an E60 530i BMW. What we're doing is we're sorting out some issues with leakages on this car. Leakages is a very big problem on all petrol cars pre 2014. A lot of problems. So anyone who owns this knows that coolant and oil issues or oil leakage issues are very major on these cars. This car, the W204, is also a customer car. What we're doing is basic maintenance. So the boys are working on mounts, service, basic stuff, you know, stuff required around 60,000-70,000 kilometers. So we're taking care of that. And on the third lift is a very special project. It's my own V10 diesel Touareg. So what we're doing here is, and what, you know, the challenge I'm undertaking to myself is to show that you know, so a lot of Porsche transatlantic overlanding vehicles are coming up now, also VWs. So there's this very crazy company called Dark Side Development. I've been following them for close to 3-4 years now. They've been doing some extensive work on building V10 and 3-liter Touaregs, first and second gen. So we're using a lot of their parts to build this V10 of mine. As you can see, the boxes are here. I've paid very heavy customs on these just to get these parts to India, and we've partnered up with them. So to do anything on a V10, the engine needs to come out. That's one thing which is very troublesome on these cars, but if done right, they don't trouble you at all whatsoever. And these engines are torque monsters. Clarkson once said that this can power up a dead planet. These are so crazy. So what we're doing on this engine particularly is we've done EGR deletes and also gotten rid of some EGR piping. These are the EGRs on both ends. We've removed the EGRs so that there's one lesser variable on this V10. Another thing we're doing on this car is putting TCAT downpipes. Again, there's very less space for us to work, so the engine has to come out. We're going to install these. Also these by Dark Side Developments. These are going to be DCAT downpipes to give us more horsepower. This shiny bit is one of 2 downpipes we're going to be installing right behind the turbos to give us more horsepower, more boost. This means is that there's less restriction with these downpipes and we can make more torque. The idea with the exhaust is that after we install them, we're going to put the engine back, and then we're trying to take out side exhaust so that there's lesser distance from the turbo to air from the turbo to air exiting. so that we can have a more efficient system. And these other pipes are for the very beautiful twin inlet snorkels. So there are going to be snorkels going from the fenders all the way up on both sides of this windshield, and it's going to look lit. I'll also share some pictures of something that Darkside Development has already done, and we're going to try and replicate that on this vehicle. Also, the third thing we're doing on this car is this Touareg has two individual intercoolers on both sides. So one here and the other here. So in sort of any impact, or when you're off-roading, what happens is there can be impact straight on the intercooler. So this car, I have another shipment coming in of front mount intercoolers to convert it from side intercoolers to twin intercoolers in the front, which will be mounted in front of the radiators, and also which will facilitate us to build an off-roading bumper for this car. It's going to look amazing. Fourth, most importantly, is you need more ground clearance to fit bigger tires. Thankfully this car has aromatic, which is a blessing also, and also a pain in the neck, because as you know, air suspension is one of the weaker links on this car. So let's hope nothing goes wrong, but that stuff is easily handleable. You don't have to take the engine and all the mechanicals to take care of that, so that's very easy, and you can reach a ride height which you can't normally with any sort of coilover springs or suspensions. So that's that. This shall be ready by another month's time. So welcome to our beloved OM606 diesel monster in the making. I think you guys should all call me unfinished Benzes or something, because all the projects are unfinished. Jokes apart, we are gonna get shit done now. Yes, it is a solemn promise from me. So what we've done now on this car is we've installed the turbo, somewhat installed it, but we were facing problems because of the sheer size of the turbo. This is the inlet flange. So what was happening was, when we would fit it in its usual, the way it's supposed to fit, and we bolt our actuator here, our outlet for the turbo would, from where we have to do all the plumbing for the intercooler, was coming up. So we were facing problem to run the pipes. So we would have to cut a hole or something in the bonnet and try and work it out. But what we've done now is, we've turned the turbo around and we've fitted the actuator with one bolt here for now. So what we're going to do is, from here, so we weren't able to get pipes which were, elbows which were this big. So what we're going to do now is, if you can see the inlet, we're going to weld a pipe here, out here, and put these bends on it like this, and try and run the intercooler piping. All that's left for now is the intercooler piping, and to plug this in, plug all the oil drains and oil inlet into this turbo. And this car, being a mechanical setup, as we had discussed last time, this is fully mechanical. So other than what you have to just supply voltage to the starter, and this car should run without a hiccup at all. There is no other electricity controlling anything on this vehicle. So supposedly very reliable. And this bigger turbo, I mean, I should have another turbo in comparison, but this big turbo is something which is used on big Scania buses and big Volvo trucks. So this engine is supposed to be putting out around 400 horsepower and a lot of torque. The only weak link now will be the transmission, which we will upgrade. So guys, in the next video, we should have the turbo installed, and we should be running all the intercooler pipes. This intercooler for now, which was running with the stock turbo, is too small. So I will try and buy a bigger core, and in the next video we will also try and install the bigger intercooler. And yes, fingers crossed, try and start the car once. Also, I will show you the third destination we have to film. I mean, I've bought a lot of projects, so I'll be showcasing some of the other projects I have in the next video. There are so many cars that I wouldn't be able to put them all in one video, which will be the next. So I had an opportunity to work on a very rare S63 AMG, which I will show you also in the next video. So like and subscribe if you like what I do, and looking forward.